It's 2019. Happy New Year. And you found the 2-minute tip, number 79. I'm Rich Sands. Now, I'm going to take these off right now if it's okay with you, because in the last take that didn't go so well, they just fell off in the middle of the whole thing. Whatever. So I thought it'd be a good idea to begin the year by discussing some trends in the real estate business. Now I'm going to divide this into two distinct sections: what the so-called experts are telling us and what I see that might be coming down the pike from my own vantage point. And caution, this might take more than 2 minutes. Really? Whatever. First and foremost, the experts. Now, if you're either reading or listening concerning the upcoming market, what you've noticed is what I've noticed, and that is that the predictors are all over the place. So in keeping with our policy here at the 2-minute tip of laying it out there, here are 3 areas I think that most people agree upon. First, mortgage rates are going up. Now, not up like 1984 when my ex and I bought at 18.5%, but up nonetheless. Had to happen at some point. Most experts don't see it getting much higher than even 4.95, right in that area. 2, new construction will be up. Now we know this as a fact because of the number of permits that were pulled in 2018, especially in the last 6 months. And by the way, with most markets still experiencing a lower inventory, I think this should be a nice shot in the arm for their markets. 3, prices will continue to rise. Maybe, but not as much as in the last few years, but not going down by any means. Predictions are sitting around 5% or so. Supply is going to increase, but not as much as maybe you would think or you would like. And demand is going to increase, not so much that it will completely shift the market. Really, what most people are waiting to see is how this year comes out of the starting blocks before we can label the kind of market we're actually going to have. And in the olden days, the market didn't come out of the blocks until March, April, even May. Now we should have a pretty good idea by the end of January. As for my view of 2019, I see 3 things playing out in our business. The first is discount companies. Discount companies and agents have been around forever. This is nothing new by any means. What's new, of course, are the tools that they have at their disposal now that the internet's been around for a good 20 years. As we, as consumers, become more sophisticated in how we utilize our resources, more opportunities are going to arise for people who provide those resources. As has always been the case with discounters, the very top agents are least affected by this. Their businesses are finely tuned, performance-oriented, and barely bothered by any discounter, whether individual agent or company. The agents at the bottom, amazingly enough, are also unaffected because they're just not doing enough business to be affected. The most affected agents are the ones in the middle. They're going to feel the squeeze the most. So, what do? I think the answer is in fact quite simple. Get better. Double down on your strengths, work on creating a recognizable point of difference, and get better at expressing that point of difference to consumers. Second, agents have to learn about how to operate in what might be a different market. So for quite a while now, we've seen this crazy no inventory seller's market. And as it shifts, if it truly does shift in your area, new skills are going to be needed in order to survive and or thrive. And a whole bunch of agents haven't been in the business any longer than 3 or 4 years, so they've never seen any other kind of market, and they're going to need help in handling it. And finally, as society moves towards learning when to chill and learning how to have some semblance of balance, that's going to become important in the real estate business as well. Agents have to be able to do what consumers do. Real balance, however, is a myth. And here's what I mean. If I truly wanted to lead a balanced life and I was going to teach for 8 hours today, I'd need to run for 8 hours. I'd need to spend 8 hours with my wife. I'd need to invest 8 hours in my kids, 8 hours in reading, 8 hours in meditating. be done? So the answer is what I like to call counterbalancing. I don't need to run 8 hours to work for 8, but I'll tell you what, I sure operate more effectively when I've gotten in an hour or an hour and a half before teaching class. That hour or hour and a half counterbalances the 8. We have to have a place where we can get away, to revive, to regenerate, to fill the tank, and sometimes just to decompress. We have to counterbalance the workday. So what are you doing to accomplish that? Leave a comment below and share some of your prognostications for the upcoming year. And while you're there, feel free to subscribe. For some more trends and this topic going into greater detail, go to my website at richsandseminars.com, click on podcasts, and listen to the last 2. Thanks. Happy New Year.